Oh, look at there. We got a Farmall H carburetor. Today we're going to talk about the adjustments and how to get this thing to run close to factory settings. Boom! All right, so you have three adjustment screws on this. You have your low idle, your air idle, and your main load screw here. Okay, now there are factory settings. The reality is everybody's got their own thing that they do with these if you've been around them a while. I don't want to confuse anybody. This one here should be set with a tack. That's done when the tractor is sitting at idle. I do all these adjustments by ear. I'm not using a tack to figure out if this is at 450 RPMs or not. I'm just not going to do it. So I adjust that by ear. This one here, I turn it all the way in, and then I go, my start base is one full turn out, okay? This, I turn it all the way in, and I go 3 turns out. So I err on the side of I'm probably gonna need to turn it in. Now, if you look at the amount of thread that is showing right there, that looks like a lot more than 3 turns out. Now, I bought this Farmall H about 2 years ago, and I have never, ever messed with those screws because it is indeed running right. And there's just certain things that I need to see and certain things that I need to hear in order for me to be happy. The thing I need to see is no black smoke coming out of the chimney. Yeah, we're jumping spark. It's not running right. See, when I pull that hood out, we're not skipping spark anymore. It runs right. Yeah, that ain't good. Then I let the hood back in. Okay. I think I'm going to take foam and line up on the inside there. These Delco distributors, I'm far less than impressed with them. I'd rather have a Magneto or an IH distributor. They were never designed to work good around these hoods. So, yep, I knew right away when I heard it. I was skipping spark on that hood. But anyways, let's turn her down. Come back over to the old carb. Now you hear it idling. Yeah, it's ting, ting, ting. I need to tighten that sucker up. It drives me nuts. But that's about 450 RPMs right there. I'm fine with that. So I'm not going to touch this slow idle. And this one I am going to mess with a little bit. All right, so I've let the tractor run about 5 minutes. It's about 32 degrees out, so we're right at the freezing threshold. Oh, and of course this is going to be too long of a screwdriver, but this is your air idle adjustment. I'll take her all the way down. Man, that thing was turned out a long ways. Like I said, I've never messed with this carb since I bought the tractor 2 years ago. Okay. Now we're starting to get stupid. Now you just want to go back and hear that. Right there, that's perfect. El Perfecto Mundo. Yeah, I like that. It's putting right along. Let's go out just a hair more. pretty good, man. Good in the hood. Okay, so for your air idle, I go clear down to the bottom, which is tight as it can go, and then one turn out. That's your factory setting starting point. This is pretty much all sound. You're listening for the RPMs to idle up. You keep turning it, they start to drop. You go back in about a quarter to a half a turn. So let's do that now. What we'll do is we'll just tighten it all the way down. All right, she's dying. Okay, but we're gonna tighten it down. Clearly not running good. Okay, that's tight, so we're going one turn out. Right there. That's going to be your quote-unquote factory setting. This one here, this is your low idle. And you'll have people tell you, oh, you need a tachometer to set this so that you're idling. You should idle at 450 RPMs. Pretty much on a carburetor, I do everything by ear when it comes to these two, and especially this one. Now, this is your main load screw. This is by sight and sound, okay? You tighten this all the way in, and some people will tell you 2 turns out, 2.5. I'm gonna tell you 3 turns out. I would rather start rich and work my way in. So let's fidget with that thing a little bit. Okay, so your main load screw, when you're messing with this, adjusting this, you wanna be at absolute maximum RPMs. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn it down and then move it out 3 turns. Okay, we're gonna turn it clear down on till I can't turn it anymore, and I'm coming out 3 turns from there. Half a turn. There's 1. One and a half. 2. And a half. 3. Okay, so we're gonna start it up and see how she rolls. But that needs to be set at like I say, maximum RPMs, which is full throttle. Really good at 3 turns. I don't see any black smoke. Let's mess with it more. That's a half a turn, 3.5. Again, you put this tractor, hook it up to a mixer or a PTO auger or something like that, under load, you may need to readjust that, but I'll tell you what, this sounds great to me. We go right back to idle, right back to 450. Just sounds great. No ting 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 or none of that nonsense. Now, most of you, I realize, do not have access to non-ethanol gas, okay? I do. I'm lucky in the sense that I get to pay more than the higher prices for normal gas. About a 17.5 gallon tank. Let's just call it 18 gallons. It's auxiliary. And I don't have the needle valve sticking, gumming up problems that you do with regular ethanol fuel. However, if this tractor is going to sit for a while, like say all winter, I will shut the petcock off and drain the carb. That way nothing's sitting in there. And I'll do that to all the tractors. And all these tractors sitting here right here, I run non-ethanol fuel in them. And I think I just paid $4.85 a gallon for non-eth downtown. So yeah, it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap to keep these tractors running well. But listen to that thing purr. Like a kitten that didn't lose its mitten. It's happy. Hey, all you experienced guys, H Turbo and all you dudes, leave some comments down below. I don't get everything in a video. I just don't. It'd have to be an hour-and-a-half documentary on a carburetor, but that's how I do it. Like I say, these two are pretty much by ear. This one they say you should use a tachometer to get it at 450 perfect. You know, is that 450? Could be 460, could be 472, I don't know. Sounds good to me, that's all I know. This one here is sight in sound, the main load. You know, 3 out is your starting point. 1 out is your starting point for this. Turn it all the way in, 1 out. Turn it all the way in, 3 out. And I'm at 3 out right there, so I'm happy. Yep. Right back to ting ting ting. There you go. I'll see you at the next video.